I don't know about you guys, but I'm beginning to have some serious second thoughts about this. Because I feel that somebody out there need to hear this message.
As soon as he walked out of the White House, he should be arrested. I firmly believe so.
The mother explaining exactly precisely what took place on that day. Or any other school for that matter, doing this crap.
Again, very important question. Four of them pleaded guilty to the two charges laid against them causing harm.
Florida chapter launch Saturday, October 15th, 2022 from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. Dress code semi-formal. Music by DJ Chris and DJ Dre. It's all going down at Sings Roti Delight, 4301 North State Road 7, Lauderdale Lakes, Florida 33319. There's going to be a buffet dinner, a cash bar, and a representative from the NDC Party of Grenada will be present. Join us. It's just a $50 donation. Don't forget to RSVP 718-986-3901 or 203-984-8738. See you there.
Forward with NDC. Forward, forward, forward.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Ridealong Live for today. It's Wednesday. Wednesday on the ride. How you guys doing? Welcome to the ride, ladies and gentlemen. It's Hump Day, Wednesday. And as I said, as we said in the post, this is adult talk on a Wednesday. So if you have the kids lurking, send them to do the homework. Just send them out. Send them to do the homework, clean the kitchen or something. Let them get out of the room. Let the adults talk today now. Today is Battle of the Sexes. Yeah, Battle of the Sexes. Big people business. No little children talking here tonight, guys. So tag a few friends. Tag them. And if you see somebody that usually on the program, tag them too. Because today we have two grown folks, not little children thing, Charlie Spice and Suzette Joseph, author, going to be joining us today. A lot to digest, a lot to talk about. Shireen James, how are you? Welcome. Martin Lewis, welcome. Everybody share. As you guys come, just hit the share button. Hit the share button. Good night, Marisha Bernard. How you doing? Hit that share button, guys. Hit that share button a couple times. Hey, Val. Hit that share button. Hit that share button. Hit that share button. Adult content. Thank you so much, Bernard, for sharing. So, you inside? Inside like Flomat? Oh, Lord of mercy. All right, guys, as we said that on Wednesday, we try to at least accommodate for the adults in the room, right? We have the men's summit, we have the women's summit, and sometime in that month, we put in and throw in our battle of the sexes, where we have a very outspoken gentleman and a very outspoken young lady. And today, yes, and today, no exception to the rule. Today, help me to welcome on the ride, ladies first, Suzette. How are you doing,
Hello.
Suzette?
I'm
Suzette,
good,
right
Junior. How are you doing? Hi,
Good.
everyone.
I'm doing well. Nice to have you on board, Suzette.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Always a pleasure. And he needs no introduction, but we'll introduce him anyway. He has so many titles. Charlie Spice.
How are you doing?
I am good. And let me say from the top, Charlie Spice is a retired male stripper, dancer, escort in Los Angeles, and he just recently retired from the industry. We're going to learn a lot about that. Charlie is here to give us his expertise on the topic. Yes. Charlie. They say women love Charlie. Every time Charlie come on the program, all the women go goo goo gaga for Charlie. Goo goo gaga for Charlie. All right, let's start, guys. We have a lot to discuss. So, first of all, Suzette, welcome to the program. Suzette, introduce yourself. You're here for the first time. How are you?
Yes.
Tell us about Suzette.
Okay, I'm originally from St. David's, from Latin St. David's. I spent the first 8 years of my life there. Then I moved to St. George's. I was there for 7 years. Then I migrated to Canada. I have two beautiful kids. There's not much to tell about me. Suzette is Suzette. I'm an author. I just finished published my second book. My first book is right here. It's called Beautiful Love. Can you see it?
Yeah, Beautiful Love. Wow.
Yes, that's my first book. It's called Beautiful Love. And the second one is called Entangled Love, Lies and Betrayal.
Wow.
So that's my thing now. I'm writing books and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Nice. So Beautiful Love, what are some of the topics that you cover in Beautiful Love?
Beautiful Love, basically, it's about finding the right person that suits you, finding the person that makes you smile, the person that knows what you want without you having to tell them what you want, Nice. It also covers family love and friendship and different things. Both of the books, the main characters in the books, they're all Caribbean oriented, so the main characters, Cassie, for instance, she is Grenadian, and Malcolm in Beautiful Love, he's Canadian, but his parents is Jamaican. So, there's a mixture of everything in the books.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We're gonna really need your expertise on this topic here. And guys, as we said, Charlie Spice, that after a long business career spanning over 30 plus years in the adult sex industry as an operator of the sex industry all over the world, Charlie Spice has finally announced that he's retired. Charlie, welcome. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Charlie, and your retirement. You retired. You're done with this stuff.
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank you very much for inviting me on your show. I want to say hello to Suzette and congratulations on publishing your 2 books. I will make sure and get copies and read them. I have been involved in the sex and adult entertainment industry for well over about 38 years. I started off in Los Angeles when I was 23 years old as a male stripper and escort. I moved on to owning my own agencies, and then I own strip clubs. I manage businesses in the industry. I've done it all. Now I'm officially retired. People have been saying, how do people retire from the sex industry? Well, you actually can. After 38 years in any industry, one can certainly consider retirement. And I have done so. But it is very strategic for me to retire now because I want to pursue opportunities that were offered to me at various intervals in the past to do work with United Nations and NGOs, particularly where it comes to protecting the rights of sex workers. So I want to do a lot of advocacy work and work that I could not have done because I was still in the industry.
It's important that we have a clarification. Now, Charlie Spice is not retiring from having sex. Charlie Spice is retiring.
Please, let it be known. Yes, absolutely not.
Goodness.
Charlie, some women say, oh my God. Oh, damn.
So all of you ladies making these comments in the chat room to me.
He has not retired from having
be
sex.
advised,
He retired
yes.
from the sex industry.
Wow.
Let it be known. All right, guys, let's go straight into it because there are a few things that I want to get at. I know sometimes time runs fast, and there are a couple of topics that I want to get on. But let's start with this one. And I'll start off with Suzette, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here is a situation where a partner, this man is having, he's in a relationship with this woman that he loves so much, but she is extremely boring in bed.
Wow.
She's boring, very boring. How can a man make a woman a better lover?
Okay. Well, my first thing is though, she's boring in bed. Like, what is he doing to make her excited? He says that she's boring, but what are you doing to make her excited in bed? I mean, there's so much different things that that he can do. You know, if she likes one position, there's a lot of positions that they can try. You know what I mean? There's talking to her, finding out why are you like that? Why aren't you enjoying sex with me? You know, there must be a reason why she's just lying there and being bored.
She's just boring because she's boring. She just don't like to.
It could be him too. It could be him not finding her right spots. It could be him not enticing her. It could be him not doing whatever he's supposed to do to make her feel excited. So she just, you know, she's just boring because he's making her boring.
Charlie, jump in here. Whose fault is it that she's boring?
Well, there's so many circumstances that we have, so many possibilities there. And Suzette, thanks for your comment. I think that's very valid. Maybe he's not doing enough to get her excited to be less boring or not to be boring at all. Also, too, perhaps she's no longer interested in that individual. But I hear what you're saying, George. I think you're looking at the fact that she's just plain boring. Well, communication is very key. I think that the man has to do a hell of a lot more to get her turned on to other things that would make the bedroom activity a lot more exciting. I think everything is possible in bed as long as the two people, first of all, are right for each other. We have to look at the fact that they may not be compatible. It may be time to end that relationship and not try to fix it. That is also a possibility as well.
Right.
But you know,
go ahead. There's a lot. there's a lot of times too that men feel that taking out a woman's clothes and just jumping on her and galloping for like 5 minutes or so is what it takes for a woman to enjoy sex, and it's not. There's so much things, like there's a lot of like you have to know your woman's body. You have to make love to your woman. You know what I mean? You can't just take off her clothes and jump on her and gallop. You know what I mean? You have to take your time to know your woman. You have to find out what she likes. You have to find out where her sweet spots are. So that's where communication comes in. Talk to her. Find out why are you boring? Like, I'm doing everything I can, but
listen. No, why are you boring? Now, I am responsible for myself, right?
No, that's selfish.
I am responsible for myself. And I am responsible to do what I need to do.
Wow.
You are responsible to do what you need to do. Right?
No.
Some women are just shy, and as a result may need a bit of coaching. But we have to look at this in context, and there are 3 different types of context here. Either the man is not doing what he has to do to excite her. The context of she doesn't maybe have that interest in the man anymore, and she might be just a shy person. But so we have to really decide which one we're talking about and not just go all over the place. I think for the context that he is not doing enough, let's look at that. That is also a very valid point. A lot of men don't take the time to make sure that the woman is getting the satisfaction.
100%. Yeah,
and not just from the as we said before, right in for 5 or 10 minutes, but it starts long before you get to bed. I think the way he treats her outside of the bed also can result in better interaction in bed. The communication, the respect, the sensitivity, the regard, all of these things come into play. And men think that sex begins the moment you get naked in bed, and it's time to let's go for it. So in that context, that's my response. Perhaps, Suzette, you want to add something to that in this particular context?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, as I mentioned before, it's a lot more than just taking off your clothes and getting in bed with somebody. You know what I mean? Most women are caring people, caring women. You know what I mean? They like to be touched. They like foreplay. It's not just you get in bed and you do it and that's it. And then have the nerve to ask the person, oh, did you climax or whatever? You know what? You have to take your time to know her. You know what I mean? You have to make love to your woman, basically.
Yes.
Right. So being the resident female on here, Suzette, I want you to explain to the men, right? I want you to explain to the men the right and proper way. I know it don't work for every situation, but in the high percentiles, 60, 70, 80 percentile, the best way a man should caress his woman to get her into that vibe.
Well, it all depends. I mean, me personally, I love kissing, so start by kissing, nibbling on her ear, playing with different parts on her body. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could say these things on live, but
it's grown people stuff. It's growing people conversation.
Okay, fondle her a little. You know what I mean?
I have to wipe my face at this point, Suzette. Keep going. Keep going. Getting hot in here.
Do things that will arouse her, fondle her a little before you actually get into the nitty gritty of it all. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, find her weak spots. Know when you touch her there, it arouses her. You know what I mean? Know when you whisper in her ear, it turns on. Know when you give her a little slap on the butt or something, it turns her on. Like, these are things that would cause her not to be boring in bed. You have to know her.
Suzette, too many men are bloody selfish when it comes to
very
sex.
much so.
They're all about themselves, and they do not look for those signs that a woman gives off that would tell you she's enjoying something or not enjoying something, or she prefers this as opposed to that. Some men just do not have the patience, and they don't have the sensitivity. They don't have the interest It's all about them, and this is also a problem as well. So I do agree with you, and to just reinforce that, men need to be a lot more observant, more
they need to pay a lot of attention.
That's
but
right.
what about the woman actually communicating that to her man? Like oftentimes, and I've heard this before, the man think that he well satisfy any woman because she lay there and she's out and it seemed like to the man, yo, he done mash up the chicken. The man, he done mash that up, going and tell his friend, yo,
mash up nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, Junior. We as women have to stop lying to these men. We have to stop telling them, oh yes, baby, it was so good. Oh yes, baby, I climaxed like 3 and 4 times. No, you did not. Stop lying to him. You know, all because you want to protect his ego. Why? Then you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied with yourself. He's all happy that he's doing something good, but man, he's not. You know, so stop lying.
Whose fault is it that you didn't come and you make the man feel like he's doing it? So the next time he's going to do the same thing.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's our fault. So we need to stop lying to them. We need to stop when they ask you, did you climax? No, I didn't. You know, and don't lie and say, oh, yes, baby, you made me feel so good and it was so great and whatever. Talk to him. Say, no, hon, like, I don't know what happened, but I did not. And, you know, if you have to do it again, you do it again until you get it right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. If we can go over to the context of a woman who is just boring, and the man is doing everything he should be doing, it is also, there's a possibility that she's really not into him anymore.
Into him.
You know, it's and it may be best to just end that sexual relationship or that relationship totally. But there's some women out there who are just not that sexual, believe it or not. And when they do have sex, it's just a very, very traditional type, very, very straightforward, and that's fine for her. Some women are just like that, and there's no change in them. Some women can be changed. Some women can be told what is necessary to improve the situation, and they're willing to learn. They're willing to try new things, and the man has got to again use communication to find out what he needs to do. Okay, it's all about communication. But yeah, Suzette, any comment?
No, I totally agree with you. It all boils down to communication and speaking with each other and you know, letting each other know what your likes and your not likes is all about.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, we're talking about this very important topic, and I think we need to have a lot of conversations along those lines, because oftentimes we hear this: the guys and them leaving, and they're thinking that they did a whole world, they did it up, right? They think they're doing a lot, and that's for the younger guys, of course. They haven't really learned the whole experience and how to really please the woman, and the woman they're really acting as if they're being so pleasured. But when truth and in fact, they're not, right? So at the end of the day, they have to be and must be some kind of communication between both of them. So she would understand that, babes, I don't like this, I like that. But oftentimes, I see women say they don't want to tell the man because you go damage the ego, or you'll get upset, or you'll get mad, or whatever the case might be. Should you jeopardize having an unclimatic relationship than to, if that is a term, I don't know if that's a term, but anyway, you understand what I mean. Or just tell him. If he damage your ego, at least you probably will be satisfied after the fact.
Yeah, I think you should just be honest and talk to him. Honest, and I mean, how big can your ego be? Like, come on, this is about two people who love each other. If you're not pleasing her in any way, like, make your ego take a back seat somewhere. She's telling you what you're not doing right. She's telling you what she wants to be done to her. Why would you allow your ego to cloud that? No, I think that's selfish on his part.
Right. Okay, so if a man observe that his girlfriend is not enticing him in the way and not doing the things and not doing the experiences that he fantasize about, like public or doing those positions that he love, how could a man break it to his woman that she needs to do more? Help me out here.
He just needs to tell her. He just needs to tell her he needs to be considerate when he tells her as well. He can't be saying it as though he's complaining, as though he's insensitive, and he just has to tell her. Okay. Yeah. And also, a man has to know his woman, and he has to know the way to communicate to her to get the point across and to get a result from that communication. And again, this is where it goes back to me thinking that most men tend to be very, very selfish. The ego that men have very often, will cause a deficiency in communication. But I want to say one thing. I'm sure Suzanne is going to have a lot to say about this. Failure to find sexual compatibility will inevitably lead to having affairs.
Okay? I totally agree. And
then you may have lost every opportunity to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the other man is going to come and do what you're not doing. And then she'll be very excited in bed, but she was born with you.
Yeah. So Suzette, what you're saying is she could probably be boring, but it's not that she's naturally boring. She's just not getting the satisfaction for this guy. But if it was another guy, or if she hook up with another guy and the guy is doing what he's supposed to do, then her whole demeanor, her whole aura changed. Then she deliver more.
100%. Yeah. I totally believe that. Yeah.
Let's get some of the viewers on this one. We open up the phone lines, guys. 718-701-5720. We're talking about this first topic here on the battle of the sexes. We have Charlie and Suzette. The topic is, my partner is very boring. She is very boring, he says. How can I make her into a better lover? What do I need to do to make her into a better lover? And that is it. So from a woman perspective, Suzette, let's itemize. Let's go down the chronological order. A man should do bam, 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 bam to make the sexual experience better. A man should do 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the sexual relationship better. Tell us what a man needs to do.
Well, as I mentioned before, like start by caressing her, start by kissing her, start by nibbling on her ear or something. Find out what she likes. Find out what she likes, what she likes him to do to her. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different things, Junior. I mean, you can even, talk to her about watching a movie or something together. You know what I mean? Like, talk to her if he's into toys and stuff. Talk to her about introducing toys or something like that. There's a lot of different things.
We got a call on the line. Let's take this call. Caller live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, how you doing? Hi, Suzette.
Oh, God. Hi, hon.
What's up, darling? Hi, Charlie. You're looking fine like wine, Charlie.
Thank you.
Hey, remember, Charlie's retired, okay? Charlie's retired.
I want to window shopping. I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
It's okay to window shop, Junior.
Hey, how you doing? Go ahead, caller.
I'm fine, thank you. Junior, some of these men just need to know. Start in the doorway. It doesn't start on the bed. You put on some music, get a little wine, you whisper in the woman's ear, you caress the woman. You don't just go jumping like frogs and then you come. No. You gotta pleasure the woman. You gotta take time. And even if you had sex with that woman and she didn't come, you come and she didn't, you gotta go back in there and make sure she is satisfied. And I'm saying you could use a toy, you gotta use the fingers also, Junior. And some of them need to know how to do oral sex.
But let me tell you something. Hold on. Some women don't like that. That's where communication comes in.
Don't like what?
Some women don't like men to use a finger on them. I had a situation where well, I ain't gonna tell you. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. But the girl was very upset when I first met her. For playing little thing, and she said, "Don't ever do that to her." She don't like that.
So I guess it depends on the person.
I'm not boring. You know what? That one boring. Come back. Move on to the next. That one boring. No. You can't do that in bed. You have to enjoy the thing. What kind of thing is that? So she would just jump and jump off?
No, but some women don't like that. That's where the communication comes in. Some women.
Well, maybe you wasn't doing it right, Junior.
How much right and wrong you could do with your fingers? I mean, it's just your fingers. It's not like.
Hello, Junior. Of course. Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Let me take that back. You could do a lot wrong. I get it. I know that. But there's very, very few things that you could do. There are very few things that you could do wrong. It's not like it's a million different things that you could do. And I understand where the touch points are and understanding that point. But she just didn't want me to touch her there with my fingers, period.
But maybe she just didn't like it. Maybe she didn't like that. But then you find somewhere else. Find another spot. You're going to have to find that spot. That's where the foreplay come in. You find it. You don't just, you know what I mean? You take your time and you figure out what entices her and what makes her excited.
Yeah.
You know,
I think foreplay is a big thing.
Yeah, somebody said that probably my fingernail. Somebody said that probably my fingernail was long. No, the woman explained to me. That she just don't like. She probably had a bad experience before me. It wasn't me. She probably had a bad experience. So that's where communication comes in. My fingernail is not long. My fingernail wasn't juking nobody, wasn't cutting nobody. She just don't like people to touch them, put their fingers there. And that's point blank. That's how she is.
So that's her personal choice.
Well, anyway, Junior.
Yes.
Junior, I just hope Akeem Lewis is listening so he learn a thing or two in the back there, okay?
Oh, yes, my Lord.
I hope he's listening to it.
Good evening. I'm listening. Bye, Suze. I'll talk to you later, honey.
Bye, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So, Junior, listen.
Go ahead.
Women have to stop getting into relationships with men that they don't really like or they don't really want for whatever reason. Whether it's financial, whether it's for whatever reason. Because if you're not really into that man, I don't see how you could ever be exciting to that man. You're not going to feel it. You know, very often people are just not compatible. So, I'm sure there are occasions where the situation can improve, but to really get that heightened experience sexually, people got to be very compatible and very open to communication and open to trying things. Okay, so I thought I would just interject with that for a minute.
I totally agree with Charlie.
Akita Edwards is saying that's her. She don't like fingers either.
So then the man have to just find what you like. Like, what can I do to turn you on? Like whispering in your ear, like playing with your earlobe, like whatever. You know, whether it's music, like put on some music, like as Eunice said, like have a glass of wine or something. Maybe that turns her on. You have to find out whatever it is that turns your woman on, so that she just doesn't just lie there and be boring.
Right. But I come back to this again. If a woman just laying there and she's not moving and she's not into the groove and she's not enticing up the whole situation, is it the man's fault? Shouldn't she just by nature be able to walk up herself like they say in Barbados? Just walk up the thing, because it's both of us have to make the thing nice. It's not just me alone. You have to walk up yourself too. You have to do thing.
I agree, Junior. If I was a man and my woman is just lying there not working up, I would just get up and leave. Like, what? What are you just lying there doing?
Absolutely.
You're supposed to walk up yourself. Even if you do a little shaker or whatever, you're supposed to do something, not just lie there.
Right.
Then what's the point in having sex?
Right. So women, write this down right now. If you have a book, you have a pen, you have a paper, or type it into your phone. Don't just lay there and don't walk up yourself. Don't just lay there and vibe up yourself. You have to be a part of the thing. So don't just be there like a dead person. Like, okay, you know. That is
you got to work up yourself. You got to do something. You got to do a little shake or something.
Shake it, slap. You could even slap your own self. Like you could get yourself up. All of that stuff, because remember, the guy have to turn on to it. The guy have to get a vibe too, you know. And the man is visual. You have to do things to yourself too. Hype up the situation. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Not all about
Good
the man.
advice.
The women have to do what they need to do as well. That's what we're saying. 718-701-5720. We're taking your call, and we're talking about this situation where some women are just boring in bed, guys. They're just boring. What could you do? What could
men too? Not only women.
Michelle said, Junior, your finger may be too big.
Gosh,
no, my finger can never be too big. No. You can't tell me my finger too big. Because my finger ain't bigger than baby head. It's just a finger. I have an average size finger. She just don't like it. Some women just don't like it. Now, as it relates to oral sex, right? And anal sex, right? That is a conversation that you guys need to have.
Mm-hmm.
That is a situation that is a conversation that men and women need to have, especially as related to anal sex. My personal thing is not my thing. Some people like it, but it's not my thing. I don't like that. I don't do that. I never did it in my life. Right? It's not my thing. How do you for the people
for yourself?
I'm speaking for myself. That's me. I'm speaking about me. And you hear, speak for yourself, Mr. George. How do you start that conversation for the men that's watching and the women who like it? Suzette, how do you start that conversation?
Okay. Well, I'm with you. Personally, with me, anal sex is a no-no for me. Like, I would try anything but that, to be honest with you. Right. For oral sex, back in the days, that was something too that I was never into. You know, I'm like, I would never do it. I would never do that to anybody. I think it's gross. I think it's this. I think it's that. Then I had a conversation with my girlfriend Vivian at work, you know, and she sat me down and she looked at me. She's like, "Are you nuts?" She's like, "Oral sex is not nasty. Oral sex is one of the best things that you can do to satisfy your man. You know,
just like bread."
Right. Then she gave me a book. She gave me a book called Tickle His Fancy. Right. And after reading that book, I'm like, okay, you know, and I mean, I kind of ventured out a little bit and I started doing it, you know, but to me, oral sex is personal. You know, it's not something that you do to everybody. You know what I mean? You have to me, you have to be really into that person. You have to be, you know, I don't know. It's to me, it's personal, and it's not something that I would just do, you know. But again, you just have to talk to the person.
Let's go up to Mr.
Conversation.
I want to hear Mr. Speak for yourself, Charlie. But before we do that, let's take a call. We got a call on the line. Call out your live. Where you calling us from?
Hi, good night. My voice is not good. I'm calling from Toronto.
Toronto in the building. How you doing, Toronto?
I'm good.
Yes. We're excited to hear what Toronto have to say on this.
Good night, Charlie. How are you guys doing?
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Yeah. My intake on want to say is that, you know, sometimes we have to look at it both ways, because sometimes it depends on the rush. Sometimes most time the men and them just want to rush, especially if they are not if they're not staying with a person and then they have to leave. Sometimes they're always in a rush. So when they're in that rush now, the woman is not really full into it.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one part that will get them like don't do nothing, just lie down there and just take it, because you know what? You're not staying or you gotta go, or so one sense just hyping up my whole self and you gotta go. So that's one of the reasons. The other thing I wanna say is that having sex is romantic, and for partners, you have to be vulnerable to each other. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to connect. Mm-hmm. Because once you cannot connect, you cannot survive to have that sex. It doesn't matter how you try. If you cannot connect, the climate would not work.
Right.
So it's all about connecting.
Yeah.
And I can go on and that's my call.
It's all about that connection is important.
Yeah,
And
connection is important.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
For men,
and set the mood. They need to set the mood. Everybody
men,
needs to set the mood.
You got to set the mood. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Toronto.
Stop just rushing into everything. You have to set the mood. Whether you just go there to take a quickie or just have to leave, you have to set the mood, because at the end of the night, that pussy is not satisfied. You bust your water and you're gone. So what happens to that person?
Hey, don't talk, don't quickie, Don't. I wouldn't have you. I wouldn't have you talk, don't quickie, I'll let you know that some people like quickie.
I could understand if you're having a quickie in the morning time, the early morning time, and you gotta go to work and stuff like that. I understand that. Or you
quickie has
and your friends are over.
Quickie has its time.
And your friends are over and you want to make a quickie and done with it. But on a real basis, I think I don't like that quickie thing either. I just like
Okay.
Good night. Guys, good night.
Thank you. Charlie, jump in here, Charlie.
Yes.
We'll go back to the speak for yourself.
Where do you want me to jump in?
No. The conversation of anal sex and oral sex is very personal.
Yes.
Right. Very, very personal. For one, hygiene has a lot to play in this thing. It's not like you can meet someone and just go down on them. You have to know the person, and especially if you attempt to go there and it just don't smell right, Charlie. It just doesn't. It turned the whole mood sour.
I'm going to share a true story, which is quite funny, and this goes back to Los Angeles many, many years ago. A Guyanese friend of mine, I hope he's listening to this right now. He told me that he went out with a woman the night before, and he went down. He said, and when he got a whiff of that, he had to stick his finger and then put it in her nose and said, "Listen, woman, you really want me to suck this?" And I had to tell her, I'm sorry, but
oh my goodness. Wow.
So, and women know when something is not right.
Yeah.
But they ignore it. And if you know your man is going down and you know something is not right, you've got to stop him. I'm sorry, you can't do that. But so you're absolutely right. It's hygiene is a very important part of all of that. And it comes to another question. If things are not right down there and a man discovers that, should he say something to the woman? I mean, she already knows anyway. I would not imagine for a minute a woman is unaware that something is not right down there.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't know, Charlie. But let me tell you something.
How can they not know? It's their body.
Yeah, they eating too much of something and not enough of something. But let me tell you something. And that is, I want women to pay very special attention to what I'm about to say. Once a man get that wisp that doesn't smell too right, it is almost impossible for that man to actually get an erection again. Well, I don't know for every man, but for me, I'm done.
Speak for yourself. Anyway, go on.
I am done. I'm finished. I'm going home. Call me an Uber.
Call me an Uber.
I'm done. It's finished. If that wisp, if I don't get that good vibe and I don't that smell hits me in any kind of way, don't matter what, no matter how, no matter when, no matter where, I am done. I can't.
Absolutely.
And that's for me. So it's important that women, if you know that things are not right, say, listen, no. I ain't take a shower yet. Or go in the shower, take a shower, and come back out.
Or do it in the shower.
Sometimes a shower will not change the situation.
Guys, we're talking about the relationship, and this is adult topic, guys. This is adult topic. So again, get the kids away. There might be languages that we use on this program here on this Wednesday that's not suited for children. So viewers' discretion is advised. We're talking about sex, love, relationship, and everything in between. And the first topic that we're dealing with is your partner is boring. How to make her a better lover, right? Your partner is boring. How to make her a better lover. And we're saying conversation is important because then only then you will get to understand what the person like and the person don't like. That is front and center. You have to understand the chemistry. You have to understand that sex is not all about just bam, 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 and then you feel like you mash up the thing. Oftentimes, women are not satisfied. You have to hit the right spot, right? Women love to be caressed. Women love to be made love to, you know, kissed in the back of the neck. You know what I mean? It's not only the breasts and the vagina. There are many other nice spots. And probably the resident female could tell us some of the other spots besides the obvious spots that men could entice to get a woman in that mood. You're the resident woman here.
I'm the resident woman. Different things. As I said, nibble on her earlobe, like blow in her ear. Like, I mean, me personally, I don't like the blowing in the ear or the sucking in the ear kind of thing. I don't like that. But it might turn some women on. You know what I mean? Like,
just ask the woman. Just ask her.
Yeah.
just ask the woman what to do.
Ask her.
Put some whipped cream or something on the nipple or something. Do something, you know?
Yeah. Sass it up. I say I like the fruits thing. Like I like the grapes.
Right. You know, I mean, tie her hands or something. Put her hands behind the thing and tie her hands or something. Blindfold her a little. Do a little bit of 50 Shades of Grey on her. You know, anything to so that it can spice it up.
Absolutely. And we also must say that it's not only women that have that odor. You have some men, they don't take care of themselves. They also smell bad as well. They don't clean themselves. They smell rank. They didn't take a shower in a long time, and then they want to hop in bed with holes in their underwear and feel like the woman should be just open and horny for that. Men have to understand that they too have to prepare themselves in a nice way. Take a nice shower now. Grease your foot, like put some Vaseline, put some cocoa butter, make yourself smell nice. Charlie, I'm sure you could endorse that. Men need to do the right thing as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that because it's not just for the woman to practice good hygiene, it's also for the man. And I mean, coming from the sex industry, you can well imagine how many times I've had complaints from ladies who had to interact with clients who did not practice good hygiene.
Yeah.
And oh yes, so it's very, very important. Again, men tend to be very selfish. Men think that they can go straight after work, and I'm talking about construction work or some heavy duty work, and think that they can expect to have a blowjob without any complaints.
Yeah.
And particularly if it's a transactional situation and they're paying for it, they think they don't have to do shit. You know, I'm paying for it, so you know, no, absolutely not, absolutely not.
And you absolutely. Hold on, we got a call on
that goes back to the original topic of why are some women boring in bed? If the man is not doing what he has to do, particularly practicing good hygiene, that could turn a woman off as well. You know, very often it's the man not doing what he's supposed to do that causes a woman not to be excited in bed.
Right.
Most women want to be sexually satisfied. Most women want to be good in bed. Most women want to be satisfied in bed by their partner. So if she's boring, chances are he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Right. Hold on, not to cut you, so that we got a call on the line. Jump to the call. Let me come back to you. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Hello and good night. Calling from Grenada.
Grenada, how are you doing?
Work.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, we're listening.
Oh yeah. Just giving my input in terms of the topic. I think it's a very interesting topic, and I think it's one that is very sensitive at the same time. But I would just give my input and see how it goes. Now, sex is something that we most people love. I cannot say like because like could be an understatement. Sex is something that most people love, and once you're passionate about it, you should be able to know what you are doing as an individual, male and female. You may find partners that are very boring. I must say you must understand the female. Both parties should come to the realization of understanding. You must be able to be compatible, because if there isn't any form of, definitely that would already. We should be able to be connected. Both parties should be able to be connected in that venture. And most of all, the most important one is being spontaneous. I remember one time with this individual female where I had to practically tell her, because most females don't know what is it that a man really wants.
Right.
You understand? So most of the time you have to you have to have the conversation. You have to converse about this thing. It's not just about okay, it's sex and so forth. Because sex is something that connects two individuals together.
Absolutely.
Right? It's a bonding. So you have to be able to correspond with that individual. And next thing again, you have to be able to take a foul play. I'm a man, I'm in my 30s, and I think some grown folks doesn't even understand that. Sometimes a little foul play. Sometimes I hope I get the program, because I think it's adults we are speaking to. Sometimes the woman might want the man to, give her a little thing on the clit, you know what I mean? Get a little clit also, get a little breast also, you know what I mean? You know, behind your neck. Some women may have key sensitive areas which you as a man will have to know, but you by investigating, meaning you will have to practically investigate the woman holistically, because the woman will come out straight. Some women are very the self-esteem can be very low, so you have to be able to investigate as a man.
Right.
You kiss her a certain spot, you find she give you a little response, definitely well you have to cling on there. You kiss her behind your neck, you kiss her behind, you know what I mean, and you make sure that you introduce. And the next thing again, some of us could be, sometimes the sex is not really boring, but the sex becomes boring when you're in a particular environment.
Right.
For example, you might be, let's say you might be in a room in New York, and you're having sex with your partner every day in New York, in a particular room. That can be very boring. You as the man what you could do, or you as the woman what you could do. You can move into a different environment. Moving into a different environment, the environment, the settings, and everything is different. It makes the sex more appealing.
Right.
You understand? So there's a lot. We all know what is the 69. Sometimes again too, it's not every time you might want to, the 99. You have to be able to bring the 69 to the table. You understand?
Right.
Some of us does not understand what is the role of the 69. The role of the 69 is where both parties are getting pleasure and feeling the same at the same time.
Well, the idea of making love is that both parties enjoy the experience, not just for one side to enjoy it. The man have to enjoy it, the woman have to enjoy it.
Yes.
And men need to understand.
Cases,
men need to understand that it's not all about them. The woman is an equal participant, right? But I get your point, I get your point, Mosquito Man, and point well taken.
But Junior, listen to me. Let me tell you something. There are men that are very low. So they would not explain certain things. They does not even know how to have that conversation, right? There are some women again that have a self-esteem that is very low as well. You understand? So they wouldn't tell the man what to do. I remember seeing female. I would have sex with a particular female, and she would take her two hands and bar her face. And it's only after a time I get to realize what is the purpose of that. You understand? So all these things can be turned off. if you don't really communicate properly and you don't understand what is the real essence of the word sex.
Absolutely.
And so that thing is a very sweet thing. And I always just tell people, people wouldn't like how I'm saying it, but you would have to do a lot of nasty stuff. The most nasty and gross stuff you would have to do just to keep your partner satisfied.
Well, I don't. We have to wrap up the Mosquito Man, but I don't think anything about sex is nasty. Besides,
sex is not supposed to be nasty.
Some people, no. Some people would say it's nasty, but what I'm saying is the things that you would have to do to ensure that the end product,
right,
that sweet feeling, is what I'm talking about. So there's a lot of things you would have to do to get that end product.
Thank you so much for your input, man.
My 2 cents. All right.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right, guys, comment on that. Any response, Suzette or
Suzette? You go first.
I mean, he said a lot of things that did make sense. You know what I mean? And it boils down again, as what we were talking about. It boils down to communicating with your partner. You know, the biggest thing is communicating with your partner and letting your partner know what it is you want done to you sexually, what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah.
I want to add something to that. We talked about a third context where the female is rather shy or inexperienced, rather young perhaps, and as a result, she's not, she doesn't have the courage to do the things that she might or might not know about. I think that is also a situation that requires a lot of communication. Sometimes they only need to be told. Some people are just so shy that, and that could turn a man off as well. So the man has to be careful not to lose patience and be understanding. And again, communication. So we also have to be mindful of the fact that women can be very shy because they're not experienced sexually.
Yeah, inexperience. That's important. Here's one thing that someone brought up, right? And I think that is important that we talk about it a bit because it is, I don't know if it's inexperience or laziness or whatever, but going to bed, right? Especially when you're with that person. I think that there should be a level of access. Like you don't go to bed with jeans on or tight stuff on. Free up yourself. You're in bed. Free up yourself. You know what I mean? And underwear is the things that turn on your man, and man do the same thing too. They both have to play into it. You know that your man like lingerie and they like that kind of stuff. Nice little spray Rihanna on your neck, and you go to bed, and you just sexy up yourself. Men need to do the same as well. It's important that both men and women understand that those are the things that even make the relationship even more spicy. Even if you guys been together and dating for many, many years, it keeps the relationship spicy. Sexy underwear, no holes in your underwear. Yeah. It's important that we say that. No holes in your underwear.
No granny panties.
No granny panties, no holes in your underwear. Spice up the relationship even more. 717-015-720. Suzette, you were saying, I don't know if I cut you off.
You mean before Mosquito Man came on? What I was going to say is as well, there are the men who go out, on party and drink and come home and just want to climb up on their girlfriend. Like, hello, what can you do to me in your drunken state?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different things, Junior. A lot of different things that would probably turn a woman off to make her just lie there. So.
Yeah, that's true. But let me tell you guys something, and I say it here. I said it before already. I used to date a boring woman, very boring. She just didn't like sex at all whatsoever. We only used to have sex on special days of the year.
What?
Christmas and New Year's. You pick one or the other. You don't get both of them. It's too close by. My birthday. At a special time.
Have you been in this relationship for how long, Junior? Are you nuts?
Was there for a lot of years.
Junior, there used to be a Grenadian man calling me to book services, but was anonymous. Was that you?
It probably was. It probably was. Yeah, I put up a lie. You know,
probably it was probably Junior. Yeah. But then, Junior, that opens you up to go out to cheat, though. No?
Well, that's probably why we're not together anymore. But that's besides the point. She's probably watching right now. I always tell her, even though I say, listen, you know why why the relationship didn't survive? She said, why? I said, we only had sex on special occasions.
Yeah. Sex should not be something you schedule. Like, that's ridiculous.
Holiday, you know what I mean? President's Day. This type of holidays. I mean, awkward times.
So you had your calendar written down in red pencil or something?
She had the calendar. She had the calendar. I was ready. I was ready and up for anything, but she prioritized.
Somebody is saying in the chat room that you may be oversized.
She couldn't handle you, Junior.
She needed time to recover.
I told her that she know that I talk about this, and she said, "Well, that's what you get."
Wow.
If she's watching the program, call in right now. If you're watching, I want to know. I still want to know why. Hope she's not doing that anymore, though.
Maybe she didn't like sex at all. Some women didn't like sex.
Probably she didn't. Who knows? Who knows? All right, so guys, let's get some final thoughts on this, so we could move on. We have another topic that we go touch on. Final overview on this, guys. What are we saying? How could we spice up the relationship? What do women need to do? And what do men need to do to spice up that relationship even more?
As we said, communication, talk to each other, do certain things that you've never done before, watch a movie together, do a little blindfold, tie up your hands, something, introduce different things.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Charlie, if you have anything in mind, from a male perspective, what could a man do to keep that fire in the relationship?
Well, I can only echo what Suzette has just said. That sums it right there. Communication, try new things, of course. Be very sensitive, be understanding, if men tend to know what makes a woman happy and what makes her unhappy, but very often they do not adhere to those sensitivities, and they need to be more sensitive.
Definitely.
Particularly men, women as well, but particularly men.
Yeah, true.
Totally.
All right, let's move on to the next one. The key in finding Mr. Right or Miss Right. Where do you, first of all, is there such a thing? I know that's what you're going to ask. Miss Right? What is that? Where do we find that right person? Suzette?
I don't think there's one specific spot to find Mr. Wrong or Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. I mean, I could be walking down the street and bump into somebody and he could be my Mr. Right. I could be in a cafe getting a coffee and bump into someone and he could be my Mr. Right. You know what I mean? I don't think there's one specific spot to meet somebody that could be a Mr. or Mrs. Right.
Right. So in this 2022 that we're in, I mean, dating is not the same, by the way.
Oh, gosh. It's horrible.
There are people who was married for 20 plus years. Then they got divorced. So they was dating. When dating, man was opening car door. I mean, I still do it now, but that's not a big thing right now. There was back in the days when men used to go and dance with a woman like this. That's when they was dating. But now dating is different. So what do you think? What advice do you have for people, Charlie? For the men who want to find a right woman, what's the approach now? Where do you look for Miss Right?
I don't believe there's a Miss Right. I don't believe people, the looking for Miss Right concept is supported by she must be this, she must be that, she must make this amount of money and so forth. I don't believe in all of that. Like Suzette said, it could happen anywhere. It could happen in aisle 7 at the supermarket.
Right.
It could happen in church. It could happen when you're out just walking the dog. I think people need to make the best of what they have in life. And when you meet someone that you really care about, you can make that person can become Mr. Right or Miss Right. Okay. If you really want, both parties are into the relationship, into each other, they can make the other person Mr. or Miss Right. That is what I have to say at this point. I'm sure I'll have more to say as we go forward.
So you guys are saying the whole idea of that Miss Right or Mr. Right is a societal ideology that's not even practical. There's no Mr. Right or Miss Right. There is accidental meetups. They're just finding someone that you're compatible with and that develop. Like, for instance, you might find somebody in a place that you never expected, and all of a sudden, down the road, you realize that you were falling in love with that person. But they never started off at Mr. Right. In fact, they started off at like Miss Never or Mr. Never Ever. And then love kind of grew over a period of time. So there's no Mr. Right. You have the wrong idea then.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, no one is a Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong until I mean, how would you know if that's a Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong until you get into a relationship with that person, until you learn about that person? You know, I cannot walk down the street and meet somebody and say, oh, yes, this is my Mr. Right. I personally don't believe in the love and first sight kind of thing. I don't believe in that.
You don't?
No, I don't. I believe you have to get to know a person. I believe you have to form that kind of relationship with a person before you know if you love that person. I mean, you could be attracted to the person when you first see the person, but I don't believe in the love at first sight kind of thing. That's just me personally, though.
Right.
If there is such a thing as Mr. or Miss Right, it has become increasingly more difficult to have relationships with Mr. or Miss Right. Just finding the right person for a relationship, because sex is so accessible because of today's dating game. People, opposite sex is so accessible. It has become extremely difficult to find that person. So
what do you mean?
I mean, you can just go on any of the dating apps, and within 24 hours, you've got a date. You've got a hookup or whatever. You know, so it's increasingly more difficult to make relationships work today because of that accessibility to sex. As a matter of fact, if I may liken this to my industry, it has made my industry a lot more difficult to be an operator because sex is everywhere. It's offered everywhere. You know, so you know, who needs Charlie Spice to find the right person? You know. Anyway, so I just thought I would make that comment, but I too do not believe in Mr. or Miss Right construct. I think that you make someone into Mr. Right or Miss Right. Go forward in your relationship with, again, communication. That it always comes back to communication.
Always.
Sensitivity, absolutely. Patience, empathy, you know, not being non-judgmental, because there are things in everyone's life that you can easily be judgmental about, but need not be, because we all have a past, we all have things, you know. And I find that people tend to latch on to past experiences of the partner, which are not, in their opinion, you know, acceptable, and then let that be the reason why the relationship doesn't work. Create problems, insurmountable problems in relationships because of not lack of communication, because of bad communication.
I totally agree. I mean, a person would have to be, you know, emotionally mature as well, because especially if someone is going from one relationship directly into another relationship, you know, as Charlie said, we all come with baggage. We have baggage, you know. I could, you know, jump from one relationship into the next relationship, and I carry my baggage with me. You know what I mean? And if that person is not emotionally mature enough to you know, to say, okay, you know what, Sue, I know you've been through this, blah blah blah, whatever, then it's set up for failure, right?
Yeah. Someone said that's why women are turning to AAA. Some men can hold their own. And let me tell you something. This lady was telling me one time that this battery thing got so good now. They have this, I don't know if you could speak to it. They have this rose thing.
The rose. Oh, it's in my cart right now. I haven't had one yet. It's still sitting in my I haven't purchased it yet, but I heard a lot of good things about that rose.
Women say that with a rose, they don't need a man. I mean, the rose is doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing the rose is not doing is paying the bills.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard, Junior. That's what I heard. It's sitting in my cart right now. I just haven't checked out yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of other things. There's a lot of other things a lot of other toys. You know, my girlfriend introduced me to the site, and I went on, and my mouth was like, "Oh my God, what the heck?" You know, there's a lot of different things, Junior.
Yeah, if they have a rose that open the door, pay the bills, take out the garbage, women wouldn't need man anymore. No, that's it. You're done.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
They've gotten good with the technology. Let's put it like that. Bull crap. My rose don't talk back. You see, people are actually loving the rose thing.
Yeah. It's got some really good reviews.
So I've heard. Next thing, we got to jump on it quick because we're over time already. What do men need to what do you do with your man if he's not willing to learn new things? What do you say to him? How do you have this conversation? How do you start this conversation?
Again, it's all about his ego. If he can put his ego down a notch, then we'll be able to have a proper conversation about it. But I mean, if I went to my man and I said, "Listen, babes, you know, this is not working or whatever," and he puts up a wall or whatever, then we're gonna have a problem. He should be able to be open to me, because I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? You're not doing what you're supposed to do to make me happy in bed, and I'm trying to tell you about it, but you're playing whatever because of your ego. Then we're gonna have a problem. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have a problem. It's opening up the door for me to go out there and find somebody else. I'm sorry, it just is.
Yeah, you gotta do it right.
You gotta do it. Yeah, you gotta.
Charlie, any advice for what men that they're not willing to do new things to please their woman? How important it is. Like some men just they don't believe in all this.
That makes me think that there is hope for you to use your finger elsewhere. Actually, there's use for that finger after all. Don't give up hope, Junior. Okay.
There is still hope for my finger, right?
Yes, don't retire your finger yet.
Oh my gosh.
Now, you know, kick the man to the curb if he's not willing to try new things. I'm sorry, you know. I think people underestimate the power of good sexual interactivity. It's so powerful. It's the most powerful drug, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And if one partner, particularly the men in this case, is not willing to try new things, she's not going to be around for very long.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's important. Yeah. It's important that men and women listen to this conversation and learn new things. Because go ahead.
Yeah. I know we're going to end shortly, but before we end, could you hold that finger up in the air for the ladies to see? Junior.
Hey, Charlie, I am not auditioning. All right.
There it is. Is that the finger? Is that the finger?
Let's see the finger, Junior. Let's see the finger.
Hey, this is not an audition here. Okay, I'll make it very clear. but listen. The underlying factor of this here, guys, is communication.
Always goes back to communication, yes?
Always goes back to communication, because with communication, you could learn what the partner like, what the partner don't like. You learn about the individual. There are some women, they don't want you to touch their breasts whatsoever. But there are some women who love for them, the breast to be caressed. You have to know, you have to understand, and you have to learn how to please that woman. You have to find out where that spot is, that G spot. Because a lot of men don't even know about that stuff. That's a whole topic for another show.
Oh, yeah.
They
don't even know where your clit is, some of them.
Yeah. And they have to know where to put their tongue. That's a whole topic, a whole nother show. Tell them more about it. But listen, guys, great conversation. Thank you so much. We encourage you to check out the book. Hold up the book again. Suzette, let's see the book again.
That's the first one, Beautiful Love.
Nice. Beautiful Love.
And
check it out.
The second one is Entangled Love. And they're both on Amazon. If you go on Amazon and you just type in my name, Suzette Joseph, both books will come up. For those that don't have access to Amazon, if you want a book, you can just shoot me a message in Messenger and I can definitely have one sent out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Suzette. We're looking forward and wish you all the success in your book. And Charlie, you have new projects. You are now retired from the sex industry. And what are you getting yourself involved in now, my friend?
Well, I now have more time to complete my book. I am writing an autobiography, and it's called Pimp. And let me explain that.
It's called Pimp?
Yes, that's right. People's indiscretions managed professionally. People's indiscretions managed professionally. That's the name.
Wow.
Indiscretion managed
professional.
That's correct. And,
Charlie's a pimp. Charlie's a pimp.
I'm hoping to launch that. To launch the book early next year, and I have done a sneak preview of the book on my website, which is charliespice.com. So it's very easy to find me. The brand name Charlie Spice is everywhere on social media. So check it out and subscribe to my website, and we will notify you when the book is ready.
I have a feeling that a lot of these women are going to be waiting to read your autobiography entitled The Pimp.
The Pimp.
Charlie Spice, Suzette, it was a great conversation. Nice having you guys here. We got to
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Junior.
No problem. Thanks again, guys.
Bye. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. People's indiscretion managed professionally. Charlie real think he's smart enough. This guy's the whole world pimping. Great conversation, guys. Listen, we try to have these type of conversations because we believe that it's empowering for people when we have a better understanding of each other. Right, man and woman in the relationship, we feel more comfortable. It's not a taboo conversation. Sex is not supposed to be a taboo thing, man. Sex, what is it? It's just sex. It's the reason what brought us here. Yeah, that nothing wrong with sex. Say it, sex. In fact, should have as much sex as possible. Oh Lord, Facebook don't like when I say this thing. So if all you see I can't come on live tomorrow is because I said sex 5 times in one sentence. But anyway, it is natural and freaking normal. Nothing to be ashamed of. And if you're not having any, you're probably not in the right relationship. Get yourself in a good relationship that has all these excitements, because it's a beautiful thing. Nothing nasty about it. It's a beautiful thing. Freaking beautiful thing. Enjoy it. It's amazing. On behalf of all of our production team here, our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, who is always working. Big up yourself. For our moderators, Kibbs, Deanne Fraser, and Gail Charles, and everyone at Team Ridealong, we say thank you and have a great night. Also, guys, we got to tell you this. If you have a business event and you want to advertise on the Ridealong Live, give us a call. Inbox us for more information. We got a quick ad. Got to come back with final closing words. We'll be right back.
DC Florida chapter launch Saturday, October 15th, 2022 from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. Dress code semi-formal. Music by DJ Chris and DJ Dre. It's all going down at Sing's Roti Delight, 4301 North State Road 7, Lauderdale Lakes, Florida 33319. There's going to be a buffet dinner, a cash bar, and a representative from the NDC Party of Grenada will be present. Join us. It's just a $50 donation. Don't forget to RSVP 718-986-3901 or 203-984-8738. See you there.
Forward with NDC. Forward, forward, forward.
Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and bois bande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. GrenadaMarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our program today. And don't forget to check out Suzette's book. We have the Amazon link in the chat. Thank you, our moderators, for putting that there. Support Suzette, support her book, and congratulations on your books, Suzette. Gonna have Suzette back on the program again very soon. All right. Again, guys, tomorrow we are going to be in Florida. All right. So tomorrow we're coming live from Florida. So do stay tuned. We have an exciting program lineup for you tomorrow. Looking forward to see you guys again. Same place, same time. Before you leave, guys, please click that subscribe or follow button right there. Just click that button and follow the page. It's the only way you can guarantee that you're going to get notification when we go live. So if you have not yet, or is not yet, you're not following the program, following the platform, click that follow right there at the bottom. Click that follow, and you can do more. You could also become a subscriber of the platform. Yeah, become a subscriber of the platform. Click that link there. Give you all the information how you can become an official subscriber, bona fide subscriber, supporter of the platform. We appreciate you guys. See you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye. I don't know about you guys, but I'm beginning to have some serious second thoughts about this. Guys, I feel that somebody out there need to hear this message.
as soon as he walked out of the White House, he should be arrested. I firmly believe so.
The mother explaining exactly precisely what took place on that day.
Or any other school for that matter, doing this crap.
Again, very important question.
Four of them pleaded guilty to the two charges laid against them, causing harm